Thank you so much for that. And as Lauren mentioned, we are sitting here with one of the candidates for governor. Now, last night, the final debate was held in Greenville, and it was aired exclusively here on WACH Fox. That debate focused on health care and education. Now, Good Day Columbia has reached out to all the candidates, giving them an opportunity to come on the show explaining why you should vote for them. Joining us right now is Judge Tom Irvin. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. It's great to be with you.
Are you well rested from last night?
Well, you know, we are, and we're ready to work hard today.
All right. Tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, Tom, and why you're labeled as an independent Republican. Some people may not know what that means.
Well, I grew up in Anderson County, up in the upstate, born in Greenville. I was a circuit court judge for most of my career. I was a prosecutor in family court, and that's really why I got into race. I was so concerned about the Department of Social Services and how Governor Haley's failed us in protecting our most vulnerable children in South Carolina.
And you know, speaking about that, that was a topic that really kind of fired you up last night. Governor Nikki Haley, of course, has been through different meetings or so trying to help with the embattled DSS department. What would you do differently as a governor? Well,
you know, Governor Haley knew there was a problem. The Legislative Audit Council has repeatedly said that we had too few caseworkers at DSS. And as a result, sadly, so many children died under Governor Haley's watch. 251 kids died between 2011 and 2013, and that's just not acceptable. You know, it's so sad that she turned her back on the most vulnerable kids in our state.
So what are some of the things that you plan on doing, dealing with the DSS moving forward if you are elected?
Well, we will adopt the Legislative Audit Council recommendations, and that is to have better trained caseworkers with fewer cases. That's the bottom line. It's a common sense solution.
Another question yesterday, a question about expanding Medicaid in the state. Governor Nikki Haley said that the reason why she, basically in a nutshell, didn't expand it is because strings attached to the Affordable Care Act, or what some people call Obamacare. You disagree with that?
Yes, you know, Governor Haley took the political cop-out. She did the calculus and said this is going to be best for my political career. She didn't consider the 330,000 South Carolinians that have no coverage. And you know, 12 other Republican governors in the country have said this is what's best for my people. And like Chris Christie, he said, I'd rather have my citizens go to their family doctor with coverage than stand in the emergency room with no coverage and the taxpayers have to pick up the bill.
One of the things that you noted too there, you quoted a scripture from last night, coming from Matthew chapter 25. You said, for the one that did the least of the brothers and sisters you did for me. Kind of explain why did you use that to show what you were talking about?
Well, my Christian faith is a guide for my decision making. Okay. And so what I was trying to say is that Christ would take care of the least of these, and as the Gospel of Matthew instructs us, that's our duty as Christians. And we have not met that duty when we let 330,000 people go without being able to get access to health care.
Another serious issue, South Carolina, of course, even we reported on Good Day Columbia about domestic violence. We're ranked in the top when it comes to women killed by men. As governor, what would you try to do to reduce those numbers?
Well, as you saw last night, Governor Haley has refused to lead on that important issue facing our state. We have sadly led the nation in the incidence of domestic violence, and so many women have been victimized and killed by spouses or significant others. That has to change, and Governor Haley never addressed it. In fact, she vetoed funds that would have gone to help domestic violence shelters around the state. So she should be called out for that. She's failed to lead again on that particular issue of domestic violence.
The governor talked about also passing a strong education reform that opened doors to reading coaches, better technology, and expanding charter schools. What would you do differently, or do you agree with what she did?
Governor Haley was late to the game in trying to address education. She waited to the very last year of her first term to even talk about it. And then she got it wrong. She waits until the third grade to see if kids are reading at grade level. My plan is to expand 4K statewide. All the studies show that a child's intellectual development occurs before first grade. And so we have to make sure that kids are ready for first grade so that they can succeed in school and succeed in life. Governor Haley's plan is too little too late.
Folks, if you're just joining us, we are talking to one of the candidates for South Carolina Governor, Tom Irvin. Stay with us because after the break, we'll touch upon some more issues that they talked about at last night's debate. We're back after this. Okay, now before the break, we were talking to Judge Tom Irvin about health care and teacher salaries. He's one of the guys running to be the governor for South Carolina. Last night, he and 4 other candidates were in Greenville for the final gubernatorial debate, and it was aired exclusively here on WACH Fox. So, Judge, we're going to get straight to it. Illegal immigration, another issue affecting South Carolina. Several hundreds of undocumented children have been sent here, following the wake of the border crisis. One of the questions is that the federal government wants the states to pay for education for undocumented children. Well, how do you feel about that?
Well, the states shouldn't have to do that. That's an unfunded mandate. The federal government should have to pick up that bill. But you know, sadly, the president has not secured our borders. And so we've got undocumented immigrants here, and it's a burden on our taxpayers. And you know, it's not really fair to our people.
So what would you do, being governor, these undocumented children are already here, how would you deal with the influx of that and also be educating them if they're already here?
Well, it does put a strain on our resources. You know, we have so many needs in South Carolina. 1 in 5 South Carolinians are living in poverty, and 1 in 3 kids in South Carolina live in poverty. So I want to grow the economy for all. I want to increase the minimum wage. I want to abolish and repeal the state income tax so that we can help people do better in South Carolina. That's what I think we really need to do. You know, the unemployment rate is up again for the 3rd month in a row. So this economy is not as rosy as Governor Haley would like to say it is.
You know, speaking about education, Common Core, a divisive issue across the nation. Now, the governor last night, basically, she said she doesn't like it. She calls Common Core, she says Common Core is like Obamacare, but here it nationalizes education. So as governor, how would you deal with Common Core?
Well, first of all, Governor Haley hasn't been truthful with us. You know, if you go to my website, trustandtom.com, you'll see that Governor Haley actually signed a memo reauthorizing Common Core to come into South Carolina. So she allowed it in. Now she says she's against it. You know, we need homegrown standards, and my plan is to let teachers set our standards in South Carolina, not politicians.
Tom, anything else you want to add about the debates?
Well, I think, you know, it's important, since we're talking about university town, it's important for our students and their parents to know that I'm the only candidate in the race that can cap college tuition. The state of Texas did this, and it's really worked out well. We have the highest public school tuition in the Southeast here in South Carolina. I like to cap it for 4 years so that young people, when they graduate, won't have this massive student loan debt. And it will help them get started in their career and in life.
You said the key word, loan debt. I think a lot of people like that. All right. Folks, Election Day is Tuesday, November 4th. Make sure you go out and vote because